Well, since I did a 2-for-1 special yesterday, I'm going to do a 2-for-1 special today. And just show y'all a little more about myself. Might not show you my face, because as stated before, I like my privacy. But I thought I would share something a little personal with you today about this boot knife I made. Now, I made this years ago. To be more specific, probably 7 or 8 years ago. This is one of the last ones I've made. Made the sheath too, if you can't tell. The leather in this sheath come from my wife's grandpa's saddle. It was old and it was starting to rot, so I'd figure I'd repurpose it a little bit. The leather and the handle come from the same saddle. Her grandpa was very dear to her, but even the welt there, this is a very thick sheath. Keep from cutting my stitching. I made some other knives with parts from her grandpa's saddle, with conchos from her grandpa's saddle, and unfortunately this is the only knife that I've built that I have left, because I sold this to one of my buddies and he was kind enough to gift it back to me a few months ago, half a year ago, 8 months ago, whatever it was. And this is probably the prettiest knife I've ever built. I've only built about a dozen fixed blades, and somebody out there might actually own one, because I sold some of them on eBay. I'm not trying to promote my knife making skills or my eBay store, because I've kind of slowed down on it here recently. I'm tired of giving stuff away for free. Everybody wants the best deal they can get, and no one wants to pay for shipping, and I'm just frustrated with it. I'm still active, but I'm not pursuing it as hard as I was. I started before COVID with eBay and selling knives and tools and gun parts and things that I commonly have laying around, that I commonly collect and swap out and yada yada yada. But one of you out there might own a fixed blade knife that was made by me, maybe a prototype or a full-blown sheath knife. But anyways, more on this example. This little boot knife has aluminum finger guard and pommel, a stacked leather handle, and those spacers are copper sheet. So leather and copper, aluminum handle. This is a rat tail tang. Now, on this sheath, on the retention on it, in case you're wondering, the other side did have a T/barb, just like that side, but this is kind of old, rotten leather, and this side's broken off. It doesn't hold near as good as it used to. It just kind of falls out. But I was trying to go for an older design on the sheath, older design on the knife. As you can see, most of the knives I made were from saw blades and files. This is from a small file, ground on a handy dandy, whatever the 1x Harbor Freight belt sanders are. I made some of them by hand, grinding bevels with files and grinders. Now this handle is stacked and epoxied naturally to reduce separation, but I did do my best to put a countersink in the pommel and peen the rat tail tang for 2 forms of securement. Thought about threading it, but there's just something about peening and riveting in a knife that does it for me. So instead of threading, I went with peening. Didn't quite feel my countersink, but it is solid. Everything on this knife is still very, very solid. Still pretty daggum sharp too. But I just thought I would share a little bit of my knife building escapades. I haven't built one since this one. Haven't had time. And it's fun, but it takes a lot of time, and nobody really wants to pay for a custom knife, especially out of unknown material. Like I said, files and whatever you got laying around. They're neat, but they're not worth much. I don't know if I'll get this to focus, but most of my knives I have my initials in. My maker's mark. I tried to make the backing of the sheath kind of match the finger guard of the little boot knife and dagger. Never made a folding knife or a slip joint, but I'm pretty competent as a metal worker and craftsman. And this was built with pretty minimal tools. Maybe one of these days I'll get to do some videos of building some more knives. And I hope y'all are along for that journey. Anyways, guys, I just thought I'd share a little piece of me and my history. And if any of y'all out there have a handmade knife that you got off of eBay several years back with the tang stamp or maker's mark of BN, and y'all come across this, well, that's this guy. Anyways, this is a little Sunday special for you on top of Stag Sunday. And y'all have a good one. This is Hillbilly Proud. Come back, check it out, and see what we talk about next.